Hello everybody, this is Francisco here with another lesson, and today we're going to be going into how when we read the King James version of the Bible, it tells us that the sons of Noah is Ham, Shem, and Japheth. In our whole lives, this is what we've known, and we haven't questioned. The problem is we don't question anything. So today I'm going to show you guys what my research has led me to believe. I know not everyone's going to believe this, and this is going to maybe hurt some people's feelings. But this is not about feelings. It's not about that. It's about the truth. It's about history. We need to get down to the basics and form some type of truth, especially us, because we are the only ones who do not form our own history, our culture, through research. So we need to get into this, and we need to find the truth. So when we look at the Bible, we look at the King James Version Bible, right? It says, now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Okay? But the problem is, when you research, you find out that, or just say, anybody ever heard of the Septuagint? Alright, so the Septuagint is the Greek version of our writings, what you would call the Bible today. So what happened was, when we were enslaved or occupied by the Greeks, they understood how we held our books, our culture, and our history and the word of the Creator dear to us. So what they wanted to do was, they couldn't really appeal to us, not all of us. They appealed to some, but they couldn't really appeal to us with, things that usually would appeal, like money and stuff. So they understood books. If they could rewrite our books and manipulate our history, or at least hide certain things, then they will have an easier time controlling us. So what they did was, they destroyed as much writings as they could, kept a lot of writings for themselves in their secret places where their scholars could learn, and they rewrote the Bible in the Septuagint. And so this is an older form of the Bible than the King James. And when you read that Bible, so the Septuagint, you look at that part. Alright. So the Septuagint, it says, now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Sem, Cham, and Japheth. So there's a couple of differences if you look. Wrong way. Okay, so the difference is, there's difference in our name too, because Sem is in Shem, Noah is No, N-O-E. But the big one that I want to focus on today is how Ham doesn't say Ham. It has a C in front of it, and it says Cham. And when you look closely and you look at the descendants, they all have the same thing as well. Oh, can I get you? Alright. So, yeah. So we got, and the sons of Cham was Chus, and Misraim, Phud, and Canaan. So when we talk about Canaan, we actually are saying Canaanites. there is actual Canaanites. That's the children of Cain and Abel. So all of this is flipped upside down now, because you have sons of Cha, Saba, Evila. So instead of Havila, it's Evila. So a lot of these things are flipped upside down. And instead of Nimrod, it's Nebrad. So we understand that Nimrod was of Ham, or in this version of Cham. Okay? So I'm gonna prove to you that Cham is the older version. Cham is actually who they're saying Ham is. And what they did was they brought in who we believe is the Africans today, and to take the places of the descendants of Cham. And they just removed the C and they said Ham, and that's your guys' forefather. For actuality, the descendants of Cham look a lot different than the African people we see today. It's because they came in and they kicked out the people of Cham, or they got migrated in and the people of Cham left on their own. These things need to be sorted out. I believe that in the third dynasty, or during the second and third dynasty, the Mizraim, which is sons of Cham, was removed from what we call Egypt and was renamed Egypt. Anytime you had an A in front of an AE in front of the name, it meant Afro people. So when it was Mizraim, it was not an Afro people. And that's why you don't find too many artifacts, images from those dynasties, those periods. You find them from the third dynasty and on. And then that's because they were replaced by an Afro group. And just like today, how in Egypt, they don't look like the Egyptians were used to seeing. They were replaced. So what has happened? The Chamanites is there, and then what I believe the Japhetites came in there, and then now the Japhetites being replaced by another group. So like an Arab, Spanish group. And so we got to get into all of that, but right now we're going to stick to one thing, and we're talking about Cham. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this book. It's called America, being the latest and greatest, being the latest and most accurate description of the New World, containing the original of the inhabitants and the remarkable voyage thither, the conquest of the vast empires of Mexico, Peru, and other large provinces. So I went ahead and I paused it. And this is the book. I went ahead and I pulled it up online. So the name again is called America, being the latest and most accurate description of the New World, containing the original of the inhabitants and the remarkable voyages thither, the conquest of the vast empires of Mexico and Peru and other large provinces and territories. This is by John Ogilvy. Also, there are drawings by cartographer Arnoldus Montanus. So you gotta look it up. This book I would get. Alright. So we're gonna start from here we go. Another allegation. Start over here first. Another allegation for the planting of America by land, both whose sides are washed on the east and west by the South and Atlantic Ocean, may be thus probably made out. The Atlantic rolls over with almost fathomless waters, 3,000 leagues of ground, the South Sea not much less, which well may be, being indeed but one continued sea, encompassing till meeting there the universal ball, whence springs are more likelihood that America might be planted from the southern parts, from the Straits of Magellan and Le Maire. Peter Fernandez de Clare relates that he and a commander, Lodowick Paez Le Torres, saw part of the South Country, and in it innumerable inhabitants, whites, blacks, sallows, with long, black, curled, woolly, and yellow hair. They know no walls or fortresses for defense, laws or kings, but are divided into tribes. Here. They use indeed bows, arrows, clubs, and a kind of spears. Their houses are covered with palm tree leaves. Their household stuff consists only of a few Eastern pots and such trinkets, yet they have some little skills in weaving, and though they go not pride themselves in necklaces and bracelets made of mother of pearls, but these for their complexions and constitution of body, customs, and manners are rather derived from the Americans than they from them, and therefore we must seek for their original from the north, from which are but two ways: one from Ireland and Greenland, which Grotius endeavors to prove, but contradicted; the other out of Tartary. So you're trying to say that we either come from the islands or Greenland? That's what they're trying to say. Or we come from Tartary. And if you look at Tartary, you pull up Tartary up on Google, and it'll say, it'll show you like European Tartary. So you look it up, Tartary, and then you just go to images, and then so you look at the people, and this is what you see. So you see how they look now, right? It's the hijack. So this is the hijack right there. These people. So if you look, you go black. Let's see if they bring some up. See, look. They don't want to bring it up. They don't want to show you nothing. Black Tartars. Ha 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 ha. Oh my goodness, that's disgusting. So, Tartary, Ooh, this is getting irritating. Okay, so I'm gonna try this. If not, then it's done. Okay, so you know we won't even go there, but they hijacked it, so we was in the Tartary. So they're trying to say that, hey, you might have been in Tartary. We think you guys came from Tartary. Alright, so I'm gonna find out how we came from Tartary. Okay? Alright. So we left off at Tartary or Tartary, so-called from the river Tatar, which runs the country Mongol, runs through the country of Mongol into the northern ocean, covers a great part of terrestrial globe. The lesser Tartary makes out a considerable part of Europe. The greater is Asia. Tartary consisted of parts of Europe and most of Asia. That was called Tartar back in the days. Okay? Alright. This great Tartary, which is 1,000 leagues long, 600 broad, reckons 5 chief provinces. The wild Tartary, inhabited by herdsmen, Sagatai, of which metropolis is Samarkand. Famous for the mighty Tamerlane, next Turkestan, then Kittai, which the great Cham commands. So here we go. Now this is what I wanted to get to. So where else did we find this word Cham? We find this in the Septuagint as the forefather of the people of Africa. They are the Assyrians. Africa is Assyria. Right? Right? Look over here. Look right here. There's Africa right there. You see that? Right? Looks like, right? No, that's Assyria. You remove the Y and you put a C right before the A, and that's Africa, because the spelling, the S's look like an F. All they did was change the name so that they could hide this certain fact of who were the actual Africans. See, if they hide that was Assyria, then you would already have been able to know that Genghis Khan and the Assyrians and all these people. If you knew that Zingis Cham was actually Genghis Khan, then you would know this. So that's why this thing was left out. So let's continue. And lastly, Old Tartary. According to Andreas Cassius, the inhabitant of Gog and Magog. Oh, so this is Gog and Magog. Who's Gog and Magog? All right, let's get it. So Gog and Magog, this is Wikipedia. But I mean, you can look up any encyclopedia. This is right here. You just look it up real fast. You can go and compare it to other encyclopedias, but it's not going to let you down. All right. So it says Gog and Magog appears in the Hebrew Bible Old Testament as individual persons, or as people, or as lands. All right, or as lands. The book of Ezekiel paints them as the enemies of God at the end time, an eschatological view taken up in the books of Revelation, but no such connection is made in the other scriptural passages where they appear. In classical and medieval sources, Gog and Magog were peoples dwelling in territories beyond the gates of Alexander, a legendary barrier erected by Alexander the Great. Josephus, writing in the 1st century AD, regarded them as Scythians. Oh, Scythians. And throughout the Middle Ages, they were variously identified as Eurasian nomads, including the Huns, Khazars, and Mongols. Conflated with various other legends concerning the Amazons, Red Jews, and the 10 lost tribes of Israel. I mean, there's so much gold here. Where do I go? This video would be like 3 hours long if I had my way. But here we go. So who are the Scythians? So the Scythians, also known as Saita, Saka, Sake, Sese, Sai, Isuka, Iskuzai, Askuzai, were a large group of Iranian Eurasian nomads who were mentioned by the literate people surrounding them as inhabiting large areas in the central Eurasian steppes. from about the 9th century BC until about the 1st century, the Scythian language. So this is the Scythians, okay? So who were the Scythians? The Scythians is who the people in China built the Great Wall to defend against. Look, I'll bring it up. This is the Great Wall of China. The Great Wall of China is a series of fortifications made of stone, brick, tempered earth, wood, and other materials generally built along the east to west line across the historical northern borders of China to protect the Chinese states and empires